You know, I think everybody remembers Dennis Walker. Worked for years in radio in Penticton and then got laid off when the company was sold. Well, I was just going through some internet radio here, and there's a little app for it, and what do I come up with but So Country Internet Radio, and it's Dennis Walker.
Trace Adkins on SoCountry.ca. If you hear some stomping on top of me here at the Adidas Sportsplex, what they do, they have meetings in here, you know. You can rent this building if you want to.
Okay, we generally have news right now, and I'm actually breaking away from the loop, and we've only done this a couple times in our history, but I'll tell you one thing, today is certainly the day that we want to be doing something like that. Mike Roberts, welcome to our SoCountry.ca studio. How are you?
Dennis, it is a pleasure to be here. It's so good to see what you're up to these days.
What do you think when you walk in a soccer club? You don't see many radio stations in a soccer club, I don't.
It sounds like you're at Action Central, though. I mean, way better than hidden away in some silent place.
You're here right now. The old timers are playing soccer as they do on Wednesday, but we've got the 2,300 kids play soccer here. They've all got a grandma, a grandpa, a mom, and a dad. So a lot of this area comes to this facility and not just Penticton.
So the soccer club was pivotal in getting you the spot.
Oh, absolutely. I was broadcasting out of my kitchen, and I had them on the air. They said, "You can't keep working out of your kitchen." I said, "Sure. Where else am I going to work out?" If they had a meeting 2 weeks later, they phoned, they said, "You're coming down here."
Dennis had been working at Giant FM, but when it was sold, the staff was laid off. When did the idea of internet radio come to you?
Seriously, about 3 minutes later. And that's about how long I felt sorry for myself. I'd seen this happen to people in broadcasting before. And I don't know, you just kind of think maybe your number's going to be up one day, so I didn't waste any time.
Harry Shaw was a Giant FM engineer, and Dennis needed an engineer.
If Harry Shaw wasn't here, this wouldn't be on the air. It was the technical part that I couldn't do. When we set up in the kitchen, it kept crashing. It was very frustrating. It was a frantic few months, and it still is. We've got a lot going on. Of course, with springtime coming, things start to happen, and we want to make sure we get everything that's happening local on here, on SoCountry.ca. I come in about 4 in the morning, and we produce a show that's usually about 3 hours long and loop it. So you can listen anytime, but the show is produced live. So say between about 5:30 and 8:30 in the morning, and then we loop it. And that came on research. They say, don't just play back-to-back music. Have your voice on all the time. And that's what we do. We'll get you more blue sky, sunshine, and a high of 15. That's So Country News, Sports, and Weather. Always a presentation of our friends at Tim Hortons. Burl and Paul over at Tim Hortons made it possible for us to do this local news. People that didn't like country would listen for the local information. So our newscasts are lengthy, and they're detailed, and they're local.
Dennis signed on from his kitchen in June of last year, signed on from the Adidas Sportsplex in November, and postponed the station launch till January 23rd, when he had dignitaries from every community in the South Okanagan in for lunch.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Penticton from the Adidas Sportsplex, you're listening to SoCountry.ca.
Roberts on the Road is powered by the Centez Auto Group.